Hello everybody and welcome to RBPK Productions. I'm your host as always, Jesse, and today we're going to be doing a special clay custom. It is going to be, of course, titled Heist, and it's going to be featuring two prominent bad guys in the Super Mario universe. The first being Sniffit, a type of shy guy that is actually able to fire little cannonballs or bullets out of his mouth, and of course Nabbit, who is a famous little character that came from, I believe, the Super Luigi Year of Luigi kind of thing. So we're going to get Sniffit started. It's fairly easy. You make this hooded character with little arms. Now, of course, his arms are actually just little nubbies covered in cloth, but I decided to make him kind of look like the Grim Reaper. Again, I try to add a little bit of personality. What you're basically going to do is you're going to do a cloaked figurine, and you're going to get some black, of course, and this is elephant gray if you don't know, and then we're going to take some low gloss black. Try and use a Sculpey standard. Primo Sculpey is going to be a little shinier. You'll use that for other things like the mask. So I'm going to get some gunmetal color. It's going to have a little bit of silver glitter, so it shines really well in the light. You're going to make that into the belt buckle. Now, really easy. You place it over the seam. I recommend you wrap it around and then place the seam together and then put the buckle over that. That way it hides it. And then kind of flatten it out. So at this point I'm going to be making the face mask, and again, you want to go to proportions, so just be sure that you make sure that it all turns out well and it all looks good. Everything is where it should be, because if it's not, it can look like crap. And of course I punched some holes in there so that the air can kind of escape while I'm rolling out everything else, so you can get that lack of, you can get rid of all those air bubbles inside, which can be really pesky. And again, I used the high gloss black Primo. Now, again, I'm going to add some leather strappage, so I use some brown clay to get around there. Again, the contrast of colors varies between all the Sniffits I've seen. Some of them are red. The coolest one is the gray with the black mask and the silver goggles and mouthpiece. At times would have a brown strap and white shoes, and other times it would be a black strap with a black belt and white shoes. It just varies from character to character. And of course, I'm doing the standard Mario rounded toe shoes, which makes me always wonder, are those like comfortable? And again, I put some brown soles on the bottom, again, a nice contrast. He's not exactly a colorful character, but some of those standard tones can be actually quite pleasing. And again, I always stab the bottom to get some of that excess air in case there are bubbles. Again, I have been plagued with air pocket crackage lately, and I don't know why. So I put some of that black clay underneath to kind of hide, kind of act as a dark void kind of look, and then added the shoes like he's stepping forward to attack. Then I decided to start working on the eye, the newt snoot, as I call it. That's where he fires the cannonballs out of. And so I tried getting that done, and of course that little snout is actually going to be lifted up by a piece just underneath, so it's going to be a small cylinder and then the nose, and then the hole in the middle is going to be filled in with black. Fairly easy. Now, I made the goggles at first, and I was like, well, these are too big, and so I decided to make them a little smaller, and it actually ended up looking a whole lot better. As you can see, this is a really simple character, and so I moved him out of the way. The next character was going to be Nabbit, and this one was an absolute nightmare. This one sucked in more ways than I can actually even describe to you. So, yeah, we're going to get some of this ready, and I got his bag done, so we're going to get this clay done, and it's going to take forever, so just give me one moment to get that done. Okay, so I'm back, and this clay, I cut out about 45 minutes worth of footage, because it was just me working on the clay, and now I'm going to get Nabbit's body ready to go, and I was so frightened this was going to crack. I'm telling you right now, this clay did not want to bond. It did not want to bond to anything whatsoever, so he was quite possibly the worst clay figure I've ever had to make, because that clay was as hard as a rock, and I actually had to like sit there and work it for like over an hour until it started to warm up, and even then it wasn't plying together. When I pulled it apart, it was very stringy, very cracked, very, I'm going to say flaky is the best term for it, because the flakes were just ridiculous. And so I've really worked a long time getting his tail and his ears done. Again, don't forget the tail, because he is like a rabbit kind of thing. And I flattened out the bottom again. You wanted to have that dark portion, because he has like brown pants underneath or something. Again, I saw a lot of conflicting characteristics. Some just had little black legs with some boots on, and little white gloves on his arms. But it does have a black colored appendage. And so I got those ready, and I just started getting his legs done. And again, like, one of the main reasons why the Nabbit didn't turn out as well as I wanted him to, I mean, he looks great, but for me, I wanted him to go a lot smoother. But again, purple clay as well as red clay and pink clay have habitually always caused trouble for me. They've always caused a little bit of heartache, so again, I'm just trying to get this done the right way and the most, I guess, the best looking way possible that looks not only appeasing, or not appeasing, but pleasing. But again, I'm just trying to get his little boots ready, his little feet ready, and everything like that. Right now, I'm starting to pre-fit his arms, but it is just not working out. Again, I had to cut off his arms a couple times and see what the heck was going to happen, because I just could not figure out how to get this guy to, to be cohesive, because his hands were either too big, or the clay was separating and not wanting to fuse to the purple. I mean, it was a mess all around. The purple clay is just a nightmare. I wanted him to be a little stubbier and chunky, but again, the clay was not in my favor, and I kind of just had to make do with what I had. I definitely need to invest in some clay softener. And so right here I'm making that little bandana thing that goes with a wrist face to hide it. And I'm trying to prefab, and so I decided to put the bandana on first. Since the purple clay wasn't wanting to stick, he is a little oval shaped, so it was a little easier for me to add that on and then add the arms to the bandana. So it's actually technically two pieces, and the white bandana fused during the ovening process, but really the arms are actually hanging onto the bandana and kind of sticking to the body itself. So I got that all pre-fitted. I, of course, got the bag on there and stuck it, and it's resting on both his neck and on his tail. And I got his arms done, and I got his eyes done. And I'm just trying to figure out what the heck I'm going to do and get him ready. And again, I'm just going to be spinning up, cleaning everything like that, getting him pre-shaped and everything. And so I finally moved into the final part of the fabrication process as usual, getting the base, which is the last one I need to stain more, truthfully. But I wanted to get them pre-fitted to make them look good. We're going to do a back-to-back, like they're partners in crime. So yeah, I'm going to get that pre-cutted, put some green on there and everything like that. I'm going to take this old stiff brush that I used to glaze one time, and since it's stiff, add a little bit of texture. It's just a new little experiment. And of course I'm going to make some coins for Nabbit because he likes treasure, and get a nice pile of those going. Not too many, of course, because I wanted to keep this base plate actually a little more subtle. But of course, as you guys know, I don't really like leaving them just alone. And of course I'm going to add some cannonballs for Sniffit, and do about 4 of those to make them look nice and good. So yeah, this is a really easy one, and get those ready for baking, guys, and I'll see you guys. Okay guys, I am back, and of course I did use paint for the first time, and it actually turned out quite well. I wanted to add some runny effects, not quite blood, but to make it look like it was done in a rush, and of course they baked really well, and the only thing that really cracked actually was the bag on Nabbit, which I hollowed out, which was weird. But it was only like a slight hairline crack, and of course I had to get this all ready and stuff like that, and I had to go get some brushes and stuff because they just were not working out. So I'm gonna be gone for just a moment. I'm gonna let the first glaze anyway to dry anyway, so I kind of made time for this, and it's just gonna take a second for me to come back and get this done. And again, I left that in there because I wanted to dry just a little bit. And so I softened that one up in hot water, and again, you should get some nail polish remover. I lost mine in my move, so I've been having to make do with like hot water, which can at times be a trouble, and it can cause chemical reactions like the artillery. But at the same time, just kind of get that done and get him nice and glossed up, and he's actually looking really good. And just grab him by the top of the hood if you can after he's baked. Be gentle, because you never know what will break and what won't. But just get them done, glazed up a lot of places. I kind of double coated the mask because I wanted to make that extra glossy. It just looks a little better, it looks a little more clean, and it works out truthfully for him a little better too. So just get him nice and glossed up and clean, makes him look like plasticine or plastic, and it's kind of good. Now this is funny because I accidentally poured way too much on this base plate. I meant to dunk a little bit on there, maybe just like a quarter of that or half, and so most of the time I was spending getting some of that off, but when I brushed it with the stiff brush, I actually ended up making little chunks and pebbles of green everywhere. So I'm having to wipe it off on my mat. You can probably see just little tiny specks of green getting everywhere. But I went over it a couple times with my brush and just got it off there and made it look a little more clean, but it was definitely a pain in the tail for sure. This was not a cakewalk by any stretch of the means, just because of that error with all that gloss. But it's actually glossed up and dried, and it actually looks a little better in general. I think it looks better, but you know, to each his own. But just gloss up over the rabbit. You want to make sure that the paint doesn't come off or chip, because again, I used the Critic, I went to Home Depot and got the Anita's acrylic paint, and it turned out okay. So right now I'm just kind of pre-fabbing, pre-fitting, and again, make sure to have a hot glue gun on standby, preheated, and get that base plate nice and glued up, because they're going to be carrying a lot of things. Again, I made a lot of errors in the show today, because I placed it on top of a cup rather than on top to the side. I changed the angle just slightly, and I think I'm going to go back to the old format. But yeah, I'm just trying to get him done, and yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this one, and stick around for the end credits. Bye! What's up, guys? I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed all the hard work I put into this little one. This is, I call this Partners in Crime. This is, of course, Nabbit from Super Mario Bros. There's some coins over there in his little bag. And, of course, we got Sniffit from Super Mario Bros. Who shoots little bullets. So, kind of a bit of a heist theme. Got to get cleaned up just a little bit before I start taking pictures. But I will be editing this. If you guys like the music on the video, of course, it's always down below in the annotations. And you can always check them out, especially Thomas Vent, who has been my first musical patron as far as that goes. Check him out on his streams and whatnot. It'd be doing him a great favor. And remember, if you guys like the video, please leave a like. Share it with your friends. The only way for me to get bigger and to make more of these more often is for me to get shared around and stuff like that. Just give me a little more motivation to do it. Monday's pretty much my half day, and Sunday's my off day, and I don't have time on Sunday, of course. But again, if you like this, please check it out. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and of course here, and on Deviantart. All that stuff will be down below as well for you guys to check out. Thank you guys, I appreciate you guys, and as always, I will see you in the next video. Take it easy, and bye-bye.